Okay, Brian, as far as your career goes, when did you know that you were going to be involved in coaching, and what made kind of that decision that you were still going to be involved in baseball, but just kind of on the other side of it?
Towards the end of my career, I kind of figured I'd get into coaching at some capacity, but I wasn't quite sure at what level or what I was going to be doing. After I stopped playing, I went into the business world for a few years and experienced that, but I got a call from the Rays asking if I would be interested in coming on board and help coaching with them. I jumped at the opportunity, and here I am.
As far as being an 18-year-old kid at Concordia High School, what do you most remember about that, and what was it like when you got the call 6th round back in '96 from the New York Yankees, one of the premier organizations in all of sports?
Yeah, it was a very fond memory at Concordia. Everybody was wonderful there. As far as the call, I remember I was in math class, David Barr's math class. I forget what math class it was, but taking our finals, and got a call from the front office or the school office saying, come on up, we have a phone call for you to take. And I went up there, and it was the Yankees, and that was just a great experience. A dream come true. You dream about your whole life, and it finally comes to fruition, and it was great.
How do you go back to class after that?
Actually, I didn't. I didn't talk to my teacher. He was actually one of the baseball coaches. I finished my final at a later date, and I went and celebrated with my family and hung out that way. So.
Was it Coach Masucci?
No, it was David Barr.
Oh, okay. As far as kind of your impression, obviously you started out in the Yankees organization and then made it to the majors down in Cincinnati with the Reds. What do you take away from that experience, 3 seasons in Cincinnati pitching in the major leagues?
Well, there's a ton of experience there. The ups and downs, how mentally tough you have to be. In that situation, I was a starter when I first went there, and I moved to the bullpen. That was a tough transition for me as well. So just all those experiences, life experiences, that you try to relate with these guys and tell them how it's going to be, but until they actually experience it themselves, it's kind of hard, but I do the best that I can.
Obviously, you're busy during the baseball season. You make it back to Fort Wayne anytime, still have family here? What's the association still with the Summit City?
Yeah, I still have my parents here, and grandparents are still here, so I try to make it back, like once a year, try to get back and say hi to them. But I live in Florida, so they like to come see me down there as well. So.
We've obviously had an influx of guys. I mean, even in the Rays system, Kevin Kiermaier, Josh Van Meters in AAA for the Reds right now from this area, from the Norwell area. What advice would you give as a guy who was, in their shoes, a 6th-round draft pick by the Yankees? What would you tell guys from Fort Wayne that are trying to make it to where you were?
Stick to your dreams. I mean, coming up, I was from Fort Wayne. I felt like it wasn't possible for me to reach the big leagues. I kind of had that in the back of my mind, but it is possible. Anything is possible. Set your mind to it. Strive for your goals. Set your goals high and try to attain them.
Final question from me. What do you try to relay to this group of guys about your experience that can make them better in the long term?
Just be mentally tough. Just be mentally tough. There's ups and downs. Try not to ride the roller coaster too much, because there will be tons of ups and downs. Try to be even keel and set yourself goals and try to attain those.
Anything else you'd like to add, Brian?
That's it. I appreciate your time.